Hey, it's Lori. I'm just sitting here waiting on a train trying to get to my house, which I can could probably see from here if I wanted to sit and try hard enough to look between the train cars as it passes by. But anyway, I'm waiting on a train. I'm going to go home in between jobs today. I just finished my morning job, have an afternoon job, but in between I want to go home and get some steaks browned up for the crock pot because I'm doing. So I got it from a website. I'll talk about that at some point, but not right this second because I can't remember what it's called, what the name of it is. So yeah, but really quickly, I need to go get that meat browned up and get it into the crock pot because I didn't have time to do it this morning. I guess I could have probably made time to do it this morning, but I didn't feel like it. So anyway, I figured I'd get myself around and look at least look like I didn't get out of bed. You know what I'm saying? Even though I kind of didn't do anything with my hair or anything, it's like everywhere today. But anyway, I don't really care that much, to be honest. I'm just going to work, so it's not a big deal. And I'm talking to you, so I guess I should try and look somewhat presentable. Anyway, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna make some steaks for dinner, so we'll talk about it. And here we are. We've got the meat here, and it's actually kind of nasty. I'm really glad that mess seemed to stay contained inside of the plastic bag because, that would have been a mess. But I gotta get this opened up and get it going, and I don't have time right now to be cleaning up a giant mess. So I'm really glad it stayed in the bag. Anyway, we're gonna get this all opened up, and yeah, it is messy, and it's also kind of stuck together. But I really need to try to get it apart without destroying it and tearing it into bits. So I'm hoping it's just it seems like it got smashed. Maybe this package was on the bottom and I stacked the other one on top. I don't know, but these are really stuck together. We'll just put it back together and coat it and get it browned. Okay, so here it is all laid out on the tray. I'm going to get it seasoned with some Lowry's seasoned salt. And that's what he says to season it with. And he doesn't say how much or anything. He says just season it with seasoned salt. And the name of the guy that I got it from is Cooker of Deliciousness. And he's on Facebook. So he dredges it in flour. And I'm actually going to I'm just going to put some vegetable oil in my electric skillet and get it going. So that's what we're using, vegetable oil. But yeah, this guy is really good. I really enjoy his videos. So if you check him out, find him on Facebook. You can probably Google him too. I think he has a website too, cookerofdeliciousness.com. But that's where I got this recipe. And he just puts in some flour. He said he doesn't measure. So I'm just trying to get it to the amount that I think I'm going to need. So that's what I'm doing there. And he puts some seasonings in it too. So I'm gonna show you the seasonings. Some garlic powder, and he doesn't measure any of these seasonings that he puts in this part. He just kind of sprinkles some in. So that's what I'm gonna do too. And some onion powder. And of course it's a brand new one, and I didn't open it up first, so I wasn't very prepared, was I? Oh well, that's okay. I'm not gonna mess around with trying to pick that thing off because sometimes it just takes forever trying to pick it off of there. I don't have time for all that. Anyway, we're going to get this onion powder in there. And I almost forget to put the plastic sprinkle thing back on, but I remembered just in time. Okay, so there goes the onion powder. I'm going to put that in. And we're going to do some black pepper. I'm not going to mess with the sprinkle thing. I'm just going to pour some in. I like a lot of black pepper, but I think I'm fairly moderate or sensible at least with it. Okay, so I'm just gonna whisk it all together so we can get it all nice and incorporated in with that flour, so we can dredge all the cube steaks through it evenly, I guess. Get them coated kind of evenly. Okay, here we go. We're gonna get this started, and I'm not really sure, so I kind of flicked some flour into that grease to kind of see if it was hot enough yet, but it doesn't seem to be. So I don't have a whole lot of room in this bowl that I'm using, but I'm going to make it work. I'm going to put as many as I can in this bowl while I'm waiting on that flour, or the flour, yeah, while I'm waiting on the grease to heat up. But trying to kind of stack them up a little bit along the sides so that way they don't get all soggy, I guess. I don't want it to be soggy. I don't think it'll brown as good if it's soggy. I don't know, maybe it would. I don't know, but anyway, I'm making it work and just see how many I can get in this bowl, I guess. Kind of challenging myself, right? Anyway, yeah, so I still have to get the gravy mixed up and all that. So I'm thinking, man, this grease needs to hurry up and get warmed up because I don't have time to mess around. Anyway, it's good enough. It's gonna have to be hot enough. They're going in. They're going in the grease. Okay. Get them all in there, and I'm doing a voiceover and I'm to the point where it's like I'm not really sure what else to say about it. So this piece is a little thick. That's why I'm looking at it like that. It's thicker than the others anyway. But sometimes when I'm doing a voiceover, I'm like, I have no idea what else to say about this. This is what I'm doing. I've already said it. Okay. Anyway, get this going and let's speed it up a little bit. We'll just speed it up a little bit. Like on that I Love Lucy episode where they're working at Lucy and Ethel are working at that chocolate factory, and the lady keeps saying, speed it up a little, and they get to where they can't keep up anymore. So they just start eating it. That was kind of funny. I used to like to watch I Love Lucy. We used to watch Nick at Night all the time, and that was on Nick at Night. Anybody else ever watch that, Nick at Night? Those old shows? George Lopez. I used to watch that with my kids. John worked second shift. It was just me and the kids at home in the evenings, and we watched Nick at Night every night. I remember, gosh, Dick Van Dyke. And now I'm just trying to think of all the shows we used to watch. I know everybody loved George Lopez. Mr. Ed. Oh gosh, I remember watching Mr. Ed and the Patty Duke Show. I think that was on late though, because I don't really remember the kids watching that one with me. I don't know. I think I Dream of Jeannie. Was that on that Nick at Night too? Ah, The Cosby Show. The Cosby Show was, and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Oh gosh, now I'm just trying to think of all the shows, all the old shows. That's kind of fun. Anyway, let's go ahead and slow it back down just for a second. Got all the meat breaded. Now I just need to get it all fried up and get it browned. While I'm waiting, I'm going to go ahead and make the gravy. I have 2 packets of this brown gravy mix. I have 3 cups of beef broth, and I've got a cup of water here. And I didn't pour it in with the beef broth yet because I want to put the gravy packets in with that water. So I think it dissolves better if you don't put it in such a large amount of liquid to start with. So we're going to go ahead and dump those right in there and get them whisked together. And I do have my recipe over here. I need to figure out where I'm at here. Because like I said, I'm doing a voiceover. So I'm just letting it roll and I'm kind of talking. Okay, here we go. Yeah. It's time to flip. Time to flip the meat. Okay. I'm trying not to make a big splattery grease mess, but I kind of am anyway, so. Oh well. Anyway, got to get those flipped real quick and get this gravy going so I can get the rest of that meat in. Okay, come on. Get with it. Here we go. Getting a napkin to lay my spatula on. And I'm just going to use this whisk right here and kind of whisk all this powdered gravy mix into this water. Then it's just going to get poured right into the broth. But like I said, I like to put it in the water in a smaller amount of liquid to kind of dissolve that gravy mix up. Okay, so there's some seasonings that you're supposed to use for this gravy too. So I've got black pepper. I have more garlic powder that's going in. And there's a tablespoon of each of these. Tablespoon of black pepper, tablespoon of garlic powder, and a tablespoon of the onion powder. So that's the same seasonings, I guess, that we used for the flour mixture. But anyway, that's what goes into the gravy too. So I'm just following his recipe, and also 2 tablespoons of the Worcestershire sauce. And is it not open? Well, it's not open either. Okay, here we go. 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. In it goes. In it goes. Okay, we're going to go ahead and dump that water in with the gravy stuff, the gravy powder in it. Just dump that right in, and then I'm just going to put the spices or the seasonings in with it too and get it all whisked together really good. And that's what's going to get poured over these steaks once they go into the crock pot. So, and of course we got Winston barking in the background. Winston's a barking. Probably the mailman. Okay, here we go. I've got my crock, brought my crock over, and we're going to go with just putting these steaks in here and get these other ones in, get them going. Here we go. We're going to get the rest of these in so I can start getting some things kind of cleaned up a little bit so I don't have to come home to a giant mess. I want to make sure I still have enough oil to get them browned, but I don't really want to put more in because it won't be hot. Okay, here we go. And it's time to flip this batch and get those cooked up, browned up on the other side. Giving you a little bit different angle here so you can kind of see better what I'm doing. And they are just going to have to be done enough because I got to get moving. So get that shut off and unplugged and just go ahead and get the rest of these right into that crock pot real quick. And like I said, I don't really want to have to come home to a giant mess to clean up, so I'm at least gonna get this thing soaking with some soapy water. First I want to get all this grease out of there. At least the biggest share of it with some paper towels. Get it kind of soaked up. All right. So I'm just going to pour some water in the bottom here and a little bit more water. All right, I'm going to spray it with some Dawn Power Wash just so it can kind of soak like that. It's going to have to soak like that while I'm gone for the rest of the day. So there you go. And here we are. I poured all that gravy mixture over top and I'm just getting it right down into the crock pot and I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to turn it on high and I'm going to set it for 6 hours and let it cook while I'm gone. Okay, that's done, and it took me about 25 minutes, so I really need to get to my job now because I'm running later than usual. There's nobody home, so it's not that big of a deal, but I just don't like to be running late. It's just, I don't know. It's just me, I guess, you know? Okay, I'll be back, and we will... Let's see, when I come back, we'll finish making dinner. I'm going to make some homemade mashed potatoes. No big deal, really. But I'm going to make some homemade mashed potatoes with it, and I think we're going to do corn. So, okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm all done with this afternoon job and ready to head back home to finish making dinner. John's probably getting home right about now, actually. So I'll probably have coffee first and then finish because I want to let that crock pot go for at least another hour. So yeah, and oh my God, my hair looks terrible. But that's okay. That's okay. I'll be back. I'm home and here's all the potatoes. I'm going to make all these up into mashed potatoes. And here's the meat. And it smells like somebody's been here slaving over a hot stove all day. I'm telling you, it smells amazing in the house. There's the meat. John is home, so we're going to have coffee and let this cook a little longer. I put it down on low, and it'll just cook a little bit longer while we're having our coffee. So here's the potatoes. Got them peeled. They're not completely peeled, but that's fine. It's good that way. And I didn't cut them up little. I didn't dice them up. This time I just kind of left them whole, except for a couple that were kind of big, so I cut them in half the long way. And I do it this way so that they can be nice and lumpy, because I like lumpy and mashed potatoes. That's my favorite. Everybody else prefers smooth. Well, I guess they don't really care. They still eat them. Let's put it that way. So here's the potatoes, all cooked and ready to mash. I got about 3/4 of a stick of butter there that I'm throwing in, and we're gonna put a little salt on, a little bit of black pepper right in with them, and I'm gonna get those mashed. Somebody's bumping my tripod, but that's okay. Somebody's waiting on that milk is what it is. But I'm gonna kind of smash them up a little bit, kind of mush them down with the mixer before I turn it on, since they're pretty big potatoes. I didn't dice them up this time, but anyway, I already told you that because I like them lumpy. Lumpy mashed potatoes are my favorite. And right behind me on the stovetop, I have a couple of pans with some veggies in too, but I'll show you that in a minute. I'll make up a plate and everything and show you all that stuff. So let's get these mashed up. And that is looking good right there, just the way I like them. Okay, they are nice and thick and lumpy and just delicious. That's my favorite. Okay, here we have all the meat right here ready to serve up. Over here we have, let me flip the light on really quick. There you go, let there be light. There's the mashed potatoes. We have peas and corn tonight. And I'm going to make up a plate for John. And this is his plate. I'm going to give that to him in just about a minute. But before I give him his plate, I'm like, hang on just a second, honey. I'll give you your plate as soon as I pose for a thumbnail. Okay, guys. Thanks so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next one.